Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna start answering questions, okay? We're just gonna share them real quick. Okay, so first question. It says, what other bipolar disorder symptoms do you have in your own personal experience? So for one, I'm like 99% sure I'm bipolar. My therapist has told me there's like a very big chance that I'm bipolar. I've gone to other doctors who said I have a very high chance of being bipolar. And honestly, the only reason I should go get a licensed psychiatrist to diagnose me is to figure out if I'm type 1 or type 2, and to get on medication. So I wanted to give that first just to get that out of the way. So you know, there's the normal lows and highs that I feel like anyone who's bipolar feels. Those are just the normal symptoms. But I think for me, I've been learning a lot about myself, and I think it's because it has progressed more in the past 2 to 3 months than it has in years. But I mean, my episode ranges, it used to range like months apart. Now it honestly ranges sometimes hours apart. Dissociation, which I didn't know was also, I think it's either trauma or it's also something with bipolar, was dissociation, which I didn't know that could happen. But I've been, yeah, I memory loss. I don't forget a lot. I lose a lot of memories, which is weird because I'm an actress, so I learn scripts all the time for class and stuff, and those I can honestly memorize. A few hours were good. Numbers, people, where they live, you know, like stuff like that, I can memorize. But when it comes to memories, what I did throughout the day, what I have done days before, I do not remember most of the time. This isn't really bipolar, but I don't know. I guess they're called anxiety tics, which I have learned now recently what they are, which are just basically tics. And I think it's a learning thing. I'm learning as I go because I'm not seeing a doctor, so of course they're not like fully giving me like this is what's going on. But I kind of like learning by myself. It is scary sometimes, but I mean, symptom-wise, it's just all over the place. I have a lot of impulsiveness that I didn't used to have as much, but now it's like an addiction. It's an impulse that I can't help. A lot of the times I'm not even aware of what I'm doing, and that I think is one of the things. Next question is, I forgot about this. Okay, do your kinks get more dangerous during an episode? I think that what I have learned is most of the time our minds will create fetishes or whatever you like. That way you're not afraid if that happens to you, which makes a lot of sense. So with that being said, I do have dangerous kinks that honestly are not okay. No kink shaming or fetish shaming, but I'm like, girl, calm down. But honestly, I will say that when I have episodes, I tend to isolate myself. So I have not figured out if they do get dangerous because I've never been with someone while I'm having an episode. I usually isolate. Most likely, yes, because normal to, you know, they do get progressively more. And I think, again, it's just impulsiveness is something like wanting to feel something. This like rush. Next question. Do you have anyone you talk to when you're going through the hard days? But so usually when I have really hard days, I will talk to my therapist. But whenever, you know, she's not available, like before I got my therapist, I had friends that I talked to. But like I said priorly, I isolate myself a lot whenever I have things that I can't handle. Like if something traumatic happens, if I'm going through something new, a new hardship or something like that, or just a new problem, or when I have episodes, I tend to isolate myself. That way I can figure things out first, And then if I still want to talk about it, I will either talk with my mom or I will talk with my friends. That I have learned is to have really good friends who understand you, accept you, and just overall support you and listen. Next question. Why do I always feel like people stare and can't mind their business in public? Is it me, or do I worry too much about what people think? So I don't think you worry too much about what people think. I just think when it's anxiety, you know, it's more, I feel like it's more of a protection thing, because I get like that too. When I get stared in public, I'm like, why are you looking at me? Especially if I don't have really anything on that's like out of there. Like if I don't really have my makeup, I don't really have any makeup on, like I have like a normal outfit, I'm like, why are you looking? I get very upset and I get very hostile whenever I get looked at. It's just like I don't know, I feel like it's protection. I feel like it's just me trying to protect myself. I'm very vigilant. Everywhere I go, I'm always like looking around, being aware of my surroundings. So, but I honestly also think it's just anxiety. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. No, it's not bad. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. That just means that you can probably see if somebody's gonna try to kidnap you faster than someone who doesn't. Next question. How do you think the pandemic, or in general 2020, has affected our mental health? I think it's been horrible. I think for people with mental disorders, mental illnesses, it's been hard mentally and physically. I feel like this is not taking away from anyone's struggles or, you know, financial or worse or stuff, but we're just talking about mental health in general. And I feel like it's as someone who had to force herself before the pandemic to go out, that way I wouldn't go into depressive episodes. It was really hard to keep good, because there's a thing of isolating for a few days and there's a whole different things of having to be isolated. Like I was depressed a lot more. It was hard to like basically keep my mind positive. And I gained a lot of weight back. I was losing a lot of weight before the pandemic. I had gone a trainer and everything. Pandemic happened, and the first month I kept working out. After that, my depression just got really bad. I couldn't get out of bed, and I gained all the weight back. So mentally and physically, it was next. Horrible. What's your calming show / sound to relax? To relax. Mine. So very calming show is The Vampire Diaries. I've seen the show like probably 4 times from beginning to end. It's just something about the vampires. It just brings me comfort. Or movie wise, I have more movies than shows. I watch a lot of shows, but comforting wise, movies are like my go-tos because they're short. I don't have to keep up with them a lot. So movies like Coraline, I really love. I watch Coraline at least once a month. The Twilight movies, specifically Twilight, just like the Twilight, specifically that one, or the last one, Breaking Dawn Part 2 or whatever. Harry Potter, I love watching Harry Potter. The Hobbit also gives me a lot of comfort. Sounds wise, I like to listen to murder mystery podcasts, like true crime and stuff like that. Next question is, when did you first notice there was something up with your mental health, or was there anyone who noticed it before you? I should have noticed when I was 13, but instead I noticed it when I started having panic attacks at the age of 15, 16. I think that's when I noticed like maybe there's something wrong. Turns out I have a lot of anxiety and depression. I did get medicated for a while. Actually, I should have kept getting medicated, but I just stopped. So don't do that. Don't beat me. Okay. The next one is, what's the funniest thing you've done during an episode? So again, I isolate. So I don't think I've done anything like embarrassing or funny because I just never done it in front of people. But I will say the funniest thing, which when I tell certain people, they're like, oh, that's hilarious. And I'm like, okay. But I spent thousands of dollars in like a few days. Let's just say that. I don't know where that money went at all. I still don't know where that money went. I could look at my bank statements, but honestly, it still doesn't make sense to me. When people find that funny whenever I tell them, they're like, you spent, you know, how much money in like a couple days? And I'm like, yeah. And I don't remember doing it. So, memory loss. Is that funny? Probably. Does your family know about your mental health? See, here's the funny thing. My parents know about my mental health. Do they understand it? No. Do they believe it? No, because I'm Mexican, so you know, in a Hispanic household, that it's because you're always on your phone, you know. So it's been very trying, and it's been very also educational. I've had to educate, especially my mom, in it. So she does know. Does she understand it? Does she think it's 100% real? No, but she tries to. She tries her best. We will just say that. What is a tip for social anxiety? And that one, I will say that with everything, you take little steps. And this goes for everything. Whenever you're not comfortable in situations, or you're not comfortable with a person, or you have issues that you have to work on, definitely go one step at a time. Also, take acting classes. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I feel like acting in general really brings you out. You don't have to be good at it. You don't even have to like that be your passion. I think it's just really good overall to get rid of fears, stage fright, social anxiety, you know, little by little. And this doesn't have to be like this thing, you know, like just take it slow, be comfortable, but also put yourself out there a little. Not too much where you have an anxiety attack or anything, or it's just too much to handle, because also you got to know your limits. Like for me, I cannot be in close spaces. I cannot be where there's too many people. Like whenever I go to concerts, I can't go into mosh pits. I can't be in the middle. I either have to be in the front or I have to be at the back. I can't be where there's too many people, or I will have a panic attack. The other one was, does it affect your friendships / relationships? So friendship wise, yes. Relationship wise, yes. I think friendship wise, it has always just been that I'm too much for people. Sometimes, I guess, maybe, well, to them, I overreact in certain situations, but before I used to blame myself, and I used to think, maybe I am too much, maybe I'm too crazy, or maybe I'm too emotional, or just overall, I'm too much. And to that, I say, I don't know if I can cuss, but you know what I mean. Okay. I think I've come to learn that people will accept you, who will love you and care for you. They will not think you're overreacting. What I have learned is you cannot tell a person how to feel. This does not mean that if the person's wrong, that means they're right, because you can't tell them they're wrong. No. What I'm saying is, if a person feels a certain way, you cannot get mad at that. You cannot tell them you can't feel that way. And it's something that I've had to learn. I'm telling you that you're going to have to learn if you haven't. Feelings are your own, and you yourself know why you feel the way you do. So friends-wise, it has affected a lot of them. I've learned that actually putting limits in friendships, you will lose a lot of friendships. Whenever you stop giving your all to these people, and you say, hey, I don't like the way you talk to me, or hey, I don't like that you think this of me. For some reason, that's just a hateful thing for you to do, or that's just too much for them. And that's fine. You know, that just means I can't be in your life anymore. So friendships, yes, it has. But again, learn your limits, set your limits and your boundaries, and speak your mind. If something makes you uncomfortable, I'm not saying attack the person, but say, hey, I don't like that you said this. It made me feel like this. If that person says, you're just being sensitive, you're just overreacting, get new friends. Because a real friend would say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I didn't mean it that way. But again, I apologize. That's it. It's not that hard. Relationship-wise, I actually never thought it would be with relationships. But I have also learned that when you set limits, they tend not to like it. What I have learned also with guys, for me, is that a lot of the guys that I've gone out with have this reality of me, have this vision of me, have this fantasy of me, of this pure, innocent, something they need to protect. And whenever I break that fantasy, I get yelled at, I get ignored, I just ends up, I have learned recently, I tried dating, like actual dating again, 2 months ago. I decided to change. I decided to break a cycle of being scared to be vulnerable. And I opened up to him. But in his head, he wanted to change me. And I guess I was too much for him. Again, breaking that fantasy that I'm this perfect, innocent person when I'm not. So that person ended up being an asshole. And they took advantage of me, which brought me back to probably 2 months of PTSD trauma, which was not fun. And then I also just realized that for some reason also people think that whenever you have trauma, mental illness, whatever it be, they think that they have to take care of you. That dating you or being friends with you means you're a burden. They're gonna have to take care of you. For some reason people think, but now I'm open to it. I'm like, look, this is who I am, but this is sometimes what I deal with in private. And this is me being vulnerable. This is not me saying, I need you to take care of me. This is not me saying, I need your help. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is what I deal with. If I don't talk to you for a few days, please understand it's not you. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to communicate because I believe communication is key. Being honest is a key. I wish everybody would be honest. The world would probably be a little better place if people were honest with their intentions and their feelings, but that's not how things work. So that was today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't depressive. I'm so sorry if it was, but I was just talking from my heart, from my mind, from my heart. If you guys have, if you guys have any more questions or any video ideas that you would like for me to do, please comment down below, like and subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Stay positive, stay moving, always be the better version of yourself, and just always keep vibing, bro. Keep vibing. I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time. Bye.